and welcome back to another episode of Brain Squeeze. I am Pagu, and this is Aqua, and today we're going to talk about hot, fresh, sizzling, right out the oven memes. More importantly, we're going to talk about how internet quote-unquote culture and humor through the years has changed, and like how it's changed or how we think it could change. And we might also discuss a little bit of tea here and there. We'll sip some tea, since there's been a lot of like tea or like different opinions or conflicting opinions and new things coming out revolving around how humor has changed on the internet within the last few years. And also like how people are kind of using that exact thing as almost like an excuse to like excuse other people's behavior. So before we get into all that fancy business, we just wanted to say a quick thank you for listening last week, because wow, the new rebrand and like the podcast YouTube format, it was very well received. I feel like everyone really enjoys the new name. They really enjoy the YouTube video format that we're doing, and just, you know, the kind of one-on-one just Pagu and Aqua moments as well. So thank you guys. Thank you for listening to that. Yeah. But yeah, there's been a lot happening since the last episode in our lives. We want to update you guys about our lives since last time. But, you know, before we get into all of that, all of the mashed potatoes.
The mashed potato. Yeah.
We have an ad reading from our sponsors.
Yes. Thank you to our amazing sponsors. This episode of Brain Squeeze is brought to you by our sponsors, The Real Pagu and Aqua Mocha. For all your video and audio editing needs, DM The Real Pagu. She can help you spice up a fancy new channel trailer for you and your Twitch channel.
Woo.
Also, if you're looking for any emotes, sub badges, bit badges, or channel art, DM Aqua Mocha. She will take care of all your art needs.
Yes, she will. Hell yeah. Literally anytime someone like comes to me about like, oh my god, Poggy, like I need to get new emotes and stuff, like do you know anyone? I'm like, let me tell you about my girl Aqua.
Yes.
Be like, let me, like I just joined like a bunch of or like a group chat of like a bunch of friends and stuff, and they were all posting about like their new emotes, and I was like, I don't have anything to share, but I just want to show you guys Aqua because she's great. But
thank you.
Yeah, just, gassing up Aqua real quick. But like I said, we've had just some life updates. I don't know, it's been a week.
Of life updates.
It's been a whole 7 days. Wow. A lot's happened in the past 7 days. Do you want to start? Since I did it last time, we can kind of take turns.
Yeah, so I started school again, and that sucks.
Frick school.
Yeah, that sucks for school. It's so tough.
Yeah.
Being an art student, because I was flying by taking like regular, like just book,
like
or
core classes.
Yeah, I was doing all that, but now taking art classes, it's just super tough.
So you're taking like all art classes? You don't have like any like, what's it called, gen ed classes or anything?
I have 2 gen ed classes, and no, I think I have 1 gen ed class.
Yeah.
And it's like she's the fun professor. She's like
okay.
Yeah, so it's really easy, but all my core classes, they're like, we're hard asses, and I'm just like, help.
I hate that.
I know, I hate it too. Like, everybody wants us to get supplies, and haven't gotten all the supplies because I know that we're probably not going to use it last semester before pandemic hit.
Mm-hmm.
There was a whole thing where my professor made us buy like all the school supplies, and people bought all of them except for me. I just bought 1 extra school supply because I was like, I'll just like skate on by with the cheap stuff I have.
Yeah, that's what I did all the time. I had a laptop and that's it. Like everyone was like, oh, you need to buy the book, you need to buy a binder and a folder, and I'm like, nah. I'm gonna have my laptop. That's all I need. Like, I
know.
Or even like, you know, notes on your phone, or like, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And like what ended up happening is that we didn't use any of the supplies.
What the heck?
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, thank God I saved myself. So it was $200 worth of supplies.
Yeah. Was it like notebooks and like pencils, or was it like art supplies?
Yeah, it was like charcoal. It was like
Oh,
pastels. It was like paints. It was paper. Oh my god! I bought two big paper pads, and I only used one of them, and I
uh-huh.
only used 6 pages.
Si 6 pages? And she made you buy two of them?
Yes, because she was like,
Bruh.
"We're gonna be doing a lot," and I'm like, "No,
No.
ma'am."
And those paper pads are like freaking huge. Like you're not gonna
Yeah.
need, because I went to an art school too, but I did like audio. So I
Hmm.
had a lot of friends who were like in the like animation or like game art, degree. And like they would get this like kit, like they handed out these kits, right? I don't know if your school
Yeah.
does this, but and you could get them. And the kit for like the animation and like the art people was like a giant pad of their like for their drawing. It was like huge, like the size of a table.
Hmm.
And like people would go there for like 3 years and they wouldn't even use like 2 or 3 pages out of there, because like during your classes, like you're not going to whip open like this giant table sized pad of paper. Like you're just going to use your sketchbook or like, and we had like tablets and stuff too. So
Yeah,
that's crazy.
exactly.
I'm glad that you saved yourself money.
It, yeah, but just that this semester I caved in because one of the professors I have, she's like industry. She works for Cartoon Network. She worked on Steven
Really?
Universe.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
stop it. I'm going to talk about
Yeah, she worked
stop.
on Steven Universe. She worked on OK Go. She worked in Disney, and
Is
she
your
also worked
professor
for
Rebecca
Trina.
Sugar? Like,
No, she's not, but she knows Rebecca and she
oh
hangs
my god,
out with
that's so
her.
cool.
I know, and it's just like crazy because she's like, I don't care what you say, you have to buy all my things
I
because you're
would I
gonna
would
need it.
follow anything that woman said. I'd be like, okay, yep, I'm gonna be exactly like you. Thank you. That's
No, and
funny.
that's why I like shit myself because I was like, I need to get all these fucking supplies because everybody, like all the classmates that I've had who's taken her class, have all like broken down and cried because she's super hard.
I feel like I don't know. We had a professor like that. What she wasn't like hard on us, but like you wanted to get criticism from her because you knew that she was being real. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like not like criticism in the sense, or like not in the sense of like, oh, like she's a terrible person, like I want her to like trash on me and tell me I'm fucking stupid. But like we had like a one professor who, whenever like you would go for her, to her, she would like tell you how it was. And I think, I don't know, I respect professors like that. Like sure, they can make your life a little bit harder because you have to put a little more extra work into it, or even a lot of more extra work, right?
yeah,
But I think when you have someone like that who's working in the industry and who is successful, like I would listen to them. You know what I mean?
yeah. And like she tells everybody, you don't want to do animation, you want to do illustration. She because
Period.
a lot of girls and boys and non-binary folk been like be like, oh, we want to do animation, we want to be like Steven Universe, and she's like, oh hell no,
No,
you
you
guys
don't.
don't want
You
to do
you just
that.
want to make the characters. You just want to draw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, and then illustration, you have such, you're like the Marines. She says like you're the Marines of basically studio. Like
Huh.
illustration, you're gonna be drawing the backgrounds, you're gonna be copying the characters and doing still frames and stuff like that.
Yeah, you're doing
So
like
I'm
all the hardcore background work.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, you know what? I but because there's an easier professor
Yeah.
and she's more classically trained, and then
Okay.
I'm like, I'm just gonna bite the bullet. I'm gonna be with this professor, and I'm just gonna ride in hell.
Yeah.
And the first assignment is like playing with our supplies, but like she presented us our the last student's work, and
Oh.
it's like amazing, like their work. She's like, these are my top students and I want you this first assignment to be similar to the top students. And I was like,
Oh.
bitch, I'm a banana. I can't do this.
I can't do it. My brain is spaghetti squash. No, I like that. I don't know. I feel like my thing with college is like I feel like a lot of people don't realize that you get what you put into it.
Yeah,
Like if you go to her class, like, I'm sure people like shit talk her all the time because they're like, oh, she's so hard, like she's so, like, but are you like really putting in like 100%? Like I don't know. I have
yeah,
some sort of like respect for teachers like that, but like also sometimes you just want the teacher to like tell you that you're doing a good job and that you're great and that you're
yeah,
wonderful and everything
exactly.
you do is rainbows and puppies. Like you don't want them to be like redo this drawing 700 times. Like I
Oh
don't
my
know.
gosh, yeah. And like so my last class, we had a classically trained professor,
Uh-huh.
and she loved me because I was like always fighting with her, and my friends were like always mad at me
No.
because they're like, why does she praise you even though you're fighting with her,
Mm-hmm.
and then why can't she praise me? And I'm like, because I fight for my
Because you're
grade,
like challenging you're like standing up for what you want to do.
Yeah, exactly. And I put in the work, like
Yeah. Put
like a
in that
lot of
work.
work, and it fucking
It
like
pays off.
yesterday I was doing my work
Mm-hmm.
and my fingers started cramping, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot I can't do this for more than 15 minutes. So
Yeah.
I had to ice it for the rest of the night.
Oh no.
Yeah. And
The
then
the
I also
struggles.
got into watching RuPaul's Drag Race again. That's
Oh my
super fun.
gosh. What season are you on? What are you feeling?
Oh, to catch up to the most recent, I always watch from the first all the way to like the most recent.
That's what I do too.
I know, I love it. I just love it. I don't know.
So what are you on, like the first season right now?
I'm on the seventh right now, and I
Seventh
started
season.
like last week.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. So you've been like grinding through it.
hell yeah! Because whenever I'm doing art or anything, I just pop something on because I need somebody to be listening or
Yeah, I do
somebody to
that
be
too.
talking at.
I do that too, yeah. I Do you have like a favorite drag queen so far, or like someone that you really like?
Oh well, ultimately, my favorite is always Vanjie.
Yes,
Not,
Miss Vanjie.
yeah, I love her so much. And then I love Gia Gunn. I don't know.
Oh
I just
yeah, yeah,
resonated with
yeah.
her.
Tilapia or a fresh tilapia. The one with the big like purse when she comes in. She has like the big
Yeah.
circle purse. Yeah, I like her. I
Remember
like
when I
her.
said on your stream, like, I'm feeling my oats?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love RuPaul's Drag Race. I don't know. I feel like it is low key problematic, but like it's a good laugh. It's
Yeah.
serotonin, you know? That's
Yeah, and
cool.
I feel like it's breaking boundaries, but it needs to have another, like, revolution.
Yeah, yeah.
And then lastly, oh, I have photography. And thank you so much to Smarmy. Shout out
Oh,
to you, girl.
I
She
saw
sent me
that.
her
Yeah.
camera. Yeah. Holy shit, that saved me like $1,000, dude.
That's so nice of Smarms. Shout out to our girl Smarms.
Yeah, shout out to
Yeah.
you, girl.
Aw, I love that.
And
That's
I've been
awesome.
like, yeah, it's been hard taking pictures during COVID because my photography professor, uh, she's like, how do you say, a pop artist? Not a pop artist, but pop culture artist. So
Okay.
she thrives on making your environment around you look good and clean, like
Oh,
photo worthy.
okay. Yeah.
She's not like, oh, go to the beach and take a picture, or like go to. She's like, no, in your backyard, girl, you're gonna get some sand. You're gonna you're gonna make it
Get some
yourself.
sand.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. We had like a whole photography degree at my college, and like I never took any of the photography classes. I just took the film classes instead. And I'm very happy that I did that. I don't know. I do enjoy photography, but like I think that's something that you should just leave to the professionals. I don't know. Like I think it's definitely probably going to be helpful for you, even like for things like, perspective and like, being able to capture things that you want to take pictures or draw and stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, hell
What
yeah.
about you? How's your
Oh,
life now?
I'm developing neck problems
Oh no!
because I got an iPad.
Oh no!
So, if you're part of the stream, part of my stream, you know that we just recently raised money to get an iPad so that I
Woo.
can do a bunch of things, make my content creation easier, but on top of that, also do digital art streams, which I'm crossing over into Aqua's territory. I'm coming for your brand. I'm just kidding. You were totally safe. But we're starting to do some digital art streams over there, and I got an iPad Air 3, the third generation iPad Air.
Ooh,
It's white
nice.
and beautiful, and it has like I got the paper. We were just talking about this before our
Oh
stream. I got
yeah.
the paper like matte screen thingy, which wears your Apple Pencil tip down pretty hard, but I can't draw without the paper thing because it like without it just like glides around too much. I don't know.
Mhm.
So I got one of those. I got like a nice pink little foldy case that comes with it that you can like prop it up and stuff.
Oh, that's so
I
cute.
got the Apple Pencil as well to, like I was just saying, to draw. I have the first generation Apple Pencil because that's the one that works with the iPad Air 3. And I got this like little silicone lavender and like pink pencil sleeve to go on it. So I have been drawing every single day since I got it. And I think I got it on like the 1st or the 2nd of September. So it was about a week ago. I've had it for about a week, right? And I have been drawing every single day with it, which I'm even just like a week, I've already seen like so much improvement in like what I've been able to do.
Yeah.
I am in the process of working on some portraits of the people who helped donate for the iPad on stream.
Cute. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I did one last stream. So I do my art streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I did one last Thursday. And it was really fun. So I'm gonna keep doing those. And I've also been just like deep diving really hardcore into art and like the art, specifically digital art. Like on YouTube, I've been watching like speed drawings and speed paintings and Procreate tutorials because that's what I use because of the iPad, and just like things like that. And I've also been watching a bunch of like cartoons because I feel like, I don't know, I get really inspired by like different cartoons, and I really like the different styles of different cartoons when it comes to like, you know, art things because I'm an artist now. So I've been watching a bunch of like Studio Ghibli movies just like on my own time. We had like a movie night where we watched Kiki's Delivery Service, and I've been watching Bee and Puppy Cat. I rewatched for like the 12th time.
That's such a good one.
It's so good. And then I've also been reading the Bee and Puppy Cat comics too, but that's another thing. Adventure Time and all those kind of like cartoons, right? Like the like Rebecca Sugar vibes. And I've been obsessed with Steven Universe over the last like week. I don't know if you do this, but I don't know where this comes from. So if there's any like therapists listening, I'm just kidding. Don't diagnose me. But like I feel like I find myself getting incredibly deeply obsessed with things very like fast whenever I start to like watch them or like listen like music and when I say like deeply obsessed, I'm not like, you know, like being weird about it, but like I it's like the one thing that like gives me serotonin, and then I like cling on to it, right? So
yeah,
for me this like past week has been Steven Universe. I watched it a little bit when I was in high school, didn't really like it, solely because there was like some people that I was around and like on the internet who were gatekeeping the community and I didn't like that. So I kind of like fell off, and you know, recently I got HBO Max and Steven Universe the movie, and then the Future. I guess there's like a new series called like Steven Universe Future. I haven't started watching it yet, but they're all on HBO Max. So I've been deep diving into that. And because of that, I have kind of been like doing low-key like little art studies. I don't really know if that's like what you can classify it as, but like I heard from some of my friends that, and like there's some people on like YouTube and like, you know, artists and stuff, that the way that you can like teach yourself kind of how to draw in like a very stylized manner is to find, you know, your favorite artist, their favorite artist kind of stuff, and then kind of like practice using references and like trying to like almost like recreate their pieces, if that makes sense. Not recreating and then like selling it and saying you're doing commissions. Don't do that. That's not cool. But like, you know, I over the last like 2 days I have drawn Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl from just like looking at their pictures, and I did like little time lapses of them and posted them on Twitter and Instagram. And it's been so incredibly helpful to do that for like, it's like teaching me how to like see shapes. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's something that I had like a really hard time with was like being able to see like, you know, the head is a circle or the head is a square, or like, I don't know, the differences between like, you know, Pearl and Garnet when I was drawing them was like Pearl's head is like an oval, and then Garnet's head is like a square, and then yeah, so it's helping me a lot. But really all I've been doing this past week is art things, streaming, YouTube stuff, and the podcast. I haven't really done much like personal life things other than watch cartoons and just hang out with my family. With Boone. Boone's doing fine. He's totally cool now after his nails, and yeah,
nice.
That's pretty much all I got. I don't know. I feel fulfilled. I feel you know, I understand why people, I don't this is gonna sound so dumb, but like I understand why people do art now. I don't know.
Yeah.
It used to be like such a like thing that I would like low-key like glorify in my brain of like artists, or I would like put artists on pedestals, and like I still do because y'all are fucking talented, you know what I mean? Like there's so much dedication and work and money and like blood, sweat, and tears that go into art, and like, but at the same time it's so relaxing. Like it's so like, at least for me, like I'm not doing commissions, I'm not doing it for like my career, I'm not doing it for you know, school or anything, but I don't know, it's been really relaxing. It's been really nice to just put on some TV and draw, or like put on some streams. I've been finding like different art streams and putting those on and stuff, but that's been my life update pretty much. But yeah, so in this episode we want to talk about memes, baby.
Hell yeah.
We want to talk about
those
fresh memes. Aqua came to me with this idea, and I was like, this is actually a really interesting topic to like discuss, just like a fun little thing to talk about. So I think first off, there is definitely like, I don't know, I find it incredibly hard to like describe what a meme is. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Like we all have like older relatives, like older siblings, older, you know, moms, dads, grandparents, whatever. And I feel like anytime like my mom and dad have like asked me before, like, what's a meme? And like I'm like, I don't know. Like I don't know how to describe it to you. What do you want from me? Google it. So I did just that. I Googled the definition of a meme. So I'm gonna go ahead and enlighten anybody who's confused on what a meme is before we get into this conversation. Yeah, I will. Aqua needs to know what a meme is. This is just her way of telling me that she doesn't know. I'm just kidding.
I'm dummy thick and I don't know what a meme is.
Oh my god. Okay, so the Google definition of a meme is an element of culture or system of behavior that may be considered to be passed from one individual to another by non-genetic means, not memes, especially imitation, a humorous image, video, piece of text, etc. that is copied, often with slight variations, and spread rapidly by the internet users. So there we go.
Ooh, thank you so much.
Of course, yeah, podcast over. Aqua just need to know what a meme was. I feel like from that definition, like I personally feel like a meme can be like any sort of like depiction of like current pop culture and like humor at the time, because they've changed. Memes have changed. Yes. Like from the first meme, like up until like now, like they've gotten so cryptic, and then there's like different like tiers that you could like do you remember when like 9gag had like the what are they called, they're called like something memes, I don't even remember, but you could like make them and it was like the different meme faces, and like they're
the
what were they called? I don't even remember. The lol face and I
don't want to say Kappa face, but what is it?
No, it wasn't Kappa.
It's a troll face.
Yeah, like the troll face and like lol face. Like that is like that's like my enlightenment. Like when I discovered like memes. I used to be a 9gag user. Don't at me. Don't at me. Like I was like a 9gag user. I thought that it was like the pinnacle of like comedy. It was like the pictures with like text over them and stuff. So I don't know. Reading that definition, I was like, wait a minute. Like, considered to be passed from one individual to another by non-genetic means, especially imitation. So like, are folklores memes? Like,
Yeah, that would be really good. Oh, you know
like
The
what?
damn Daniel.
Yes.
There you
Just
go.
there's like so many that
Yeah.
it's just changed. You know what I mean? Like going from like the like lol face and the troll face to like now we have like the memes that are like, you know, like froggy chair and like
Well,
like
mine
just
is
cryptic things.
like, have you seen the meme that's like me and the boys at 3 a.m. looking for beans? It's like,
Yeah. Like
what?
what is that even what even is that? It's like how do you like describe that? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
What did your research, your meme research dig up?
So, a lot of people say like memes are like hieroglyphs, and like,
Yeah.
so I taken a little bit of Egyptian study, uh,
Work.
and like my professors have told me that hieroglyphs and also cuneiform, which is the most ancient before hieroglyphs,
Mm.
is the earliest version of that, is like ancient pictorial language. Like,
Oh, it's a
yeah,
meme.
yeah, I know. And it was like first created by the Sumerians, cuneiform, and of course hieroglyphs were created by the Egyptians, and they were like receipts. Like, it was like, if you're gonna trade uh my cow for 2 chickens, I'm
Yeah.
gonna write that shit down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, which is pretty like true, because there was an ancient tablet which is called the code of Hammurabi,
Mm-hmm.
and it was in hieroglyphs and cuneiform, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And literally, it is the same as a shitpost. He
What?
literally wrote a whole ass shitpost saying, "I am the equivalent to God."
He did a shit wait.
Yes, this tablet is like his law. This is his law, because he ruled like a huge like
Yeah.
empire,
Yeah.
and it was literally a shitpost, because it's uh, like, I am God. Basically, he was saying, "I am God, and these are my rules, and you better follow them, or else
Damn.
these are
The
jail."
original shit post.
Yeah, and it was just like insane at that time, because he literally had a picture of himself on the top,
So
and every
it's a definition meme.
yeah, exactly. It's like him on the top, bottom text.
There we go. I don't know. I feel like I I guess it's just crazy to me like how like the internet like how fast and how like crazy things can change from like one format to another, right? Like with the introduction of things like Vine and like TikTok and like all of that stuff, like you know, you have like a solid 24 hours before something else comes out. Like you
Yeah,
you know what I
exactly.
mean? So like the fact that like I I don't know, my mind was blown to think of like folklore, because like folklore, you know, like it's like word of mouth and like stories and things change. And so like things like folklore and like the first like writing, like, you know, they had like humor and like I don't know. It's just memes are crazy. Moral of the
I know,
story. But
they're fucking insane. And like, when I started using the internet, like, it was just simply like the "can I has cheeseburger" memes, and
yeah, and do you know the first meme to ever like if you like look up what the first meme is, because like that's what I was doing when I was like we do like little research for like our episodes, so I was like looking up like what was the first meme, and I guess it was like an email chain that this person started with like that video of the dancing baby like in a diaper.
oh my god.
Like that was like quote unquote the first like internet meme, was like that just being like with no context like sent to someone in like an email chain. And like honestly I feel like we've come full circle, because like
Yeah.
you know, I feel like memes kind of went to a place where like you had to have context, like there was the text that would like, you know, go along with it to tell you like when you has cheeseburger, you know what I mean? But now again it's like kind of that cryptic shit where it's like a picture of Mr. Krabs and he's like all distorted and like that's it. Like there's no text, there's nothing, like, and like someone just says like mood, like like it doesn't I don't know, man. So anyway, yeah, the Can
And
I
like,
Has cheeseburger, iconic.
it's true. Like, I think memes have progressed so much
Hmm.
that like it really changed the boundaries of entertainment, and I feel like
Hmm.
it really created a good wholesome community, but it also created like brought to light the ugliness of like our society,
Hmm.
because uh people started wilding out. Like they were wilding out with their fucking shit. Like I remember there were like a lot of racist and homophobic and sexist stuff back in the day. And like, mind you, this was all like excused because it
Because it was
was,
humor, because it was funny. It
yeah,
was like racy and edgy and like different.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And like, some of these shows started to become like minstrel shows. A
Hmm.
minstrel show is, or minstrelly, which I'm getting this off of Wikipedia, was an American form of entertainment developed in the early 19th century. Each show consisted of comic skits, variety acts, dancing, and music performances that depicted people specifically of African descent. The shows were performed by mostly white people in makeup or blackface for the purpose of playing the role of black people.
Hmm.
And that was a little problematic. And like this will go a little bit with the tea about Shane Dawson and his depiction of minstrel shows.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people like, okay, so it's 2020. A lot of like things I don't even know how to like go about starting this, right? Like there was a situation that happened. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I won't even say like a situation. Recently, people have started coming forward and talking about like the things that specific creators had been doing in the past versus like their content now, how it's changed, whatever, kind of like deep diving into like where they came from, what they used to do. And a lot of like humor, like internet humor, um
Mm-hmm.
it was incredibly like it was gross. Like a lot of
Yeah, it was
people were like
toxic.
making nasty gross things. And I don't like to give people who don't deserve it the time of day, but specifically Shane Dawson. There was multiple instances on like clips and videos and podcast stuff where he was talking about things that just weren't okay, and people are starting to hold him accountable for it, right? So
Yeah, hell yeah.
I think recently, there's been like the Shane Dawson thing, and then there's also the stuff that happened with Jenna Marbles. And I feel like I wanted to kind of like just talk about that because
Mm-hmm.
you see a huge difference in how majority of people, I'm not going to say, everyone has their own feelings towards each person and what happened, but majority of the people on the internet that I'm around do not like Shane Dawson anymore. They are done with him.
Mm-hmm.
He is quote unquote canceled, right? But then you look at Jenna Marbles, and she is totally fine in the sense of like nobody's canceling her. Nobody's like, they miss her. They want her to come back. They forgive her, right?
Yeah.
If anyone's unaware of like the situation, Jenna Marbles is on a leave from YouTube. We're unsure how long or even if she will ever come back. On a leave for making YouTube content and just content in general, because she felt guilty, I guess, like felt bad, felt terrible for the things that she had created in her past, around the time when Shane Dawson was also creating similar things in like his start and like his past in like YouTube
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. So and those things were similar. Like some people even like to say that Shane Dawson was just creating minstrel shows, right? So like blackface, making fun of just like people of different, races and stuff. So Shane, has done blackface. I don't really think that there's any if, ands, or buts about it. If you look it up,
Yeah.
like it's pretty apparent. And Jenna also did a video where I don't know how many, but there's been instances where she was also doing blackface. Like, I don't, again, like if you look it up, like she made a video about Nicki Minaj and like she was pretending to be Nicki Minaj, and she showed it in her like, I guess like
Video.
goodbye video or whatever from YouTube. Like if you go to her channel, I'm pretty sure it's still up. Like her last video that she just made. I think for me, it's really like interesting to see how people are handling both situations, right? Because you could argue that they're like the exact same situation, right? Like
Yes.
Jenna and Shane both did similar things back at the same exact, like, couple, like within a couple of years, a couple months, like time on YouTube. So like, why are people excusing Jenna versus why are people trying to get Shane to like, go away, right? And I feel like it really just comes down to like the accountability of everything. And like, I'm not going to get into like my personal feelings on anything. I just think that it's like interesting to like see how everyone's like reacting to things. But I think, like I said, a lot of people like to use the excuse, like a lot of like people who are like fans of the people whose content is coming out, saying like they were doing certain things, whatever, like saying nasty jokes, or like they, their fan base who is like still loyal to them, they like to use that excuse of like, the internet humor has changed or was different back then.
Yes.
Which that is true. Like things have changed. Life changes. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I'm not going to say that's true in the sense of like it's a good excuse, but like the internet humor has changed. Period. Like that is true. But I don't think it's like, whatever. So they were saying like, internet has changed like since it started, and like everyone's too sensitive now, right? Like everyone likes to say like, oh well, back in like 2000, like 2002 or 2010 or whatever, like we were just like, it was just edgy humor was like the thing, like it was just what you did. Okay. People still got offended by it, right? Like there was, just because like it, I guess it's, I don't know how to like word, like it's kind of like the culture, right? Like people are starting to speak up. They're not getting like drowned out by like the supporters anymore. Like YouTube is a bigger platform. It's like,
and more voices are coming out. Like
exactly, yeah. So
we, like as a society, just really drowned out people of culture, and now they have a bigger voice, especially with this movement.
Yeah, and I think that like, for what I've seen is like the big difference between like the Shane thing and the Jenna thing is like Jenna held herself accountable, right? She didn't wait until her videos were like quote unquote like leaked or brought back up. She didn't wait for someone to go to Twitter and say Jenna Marbles is this or Jenna Marbles did that. She didn't wait for someone to do something so she had to apologize for it. She was already at a point where she felt guilty enough to where she had to hold herself accountable for it. And from what, like, and again, this is not like my personal opinion, like this is from like my, I guess like research, whatever. Like that's kind of like the majority, like, mass, like majority feeling, right? Is that Jenna held herself accountable. She removed herself from the platform so she could prove to people that she is willing to put her career and her life on the lines, not life, but like her career on the lines to show people that like she's sorry, I guess. That makes sense. Whereas like Shane, he's been caught in multiple sort of like debacles, multiple pickles, where his past has been brought up and he posts an apology tweet or he posts an apology video and he moves on.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there is a really big difference, right? Like, sure, he can sit here and say things have changed. I'm a different person. Humor was different back then. Everyone's too sensitive now. I use humor to cope with things. You know what I mean?
Like, dude, you have the money. Get yourself a better therapist. Like,
and again, I don't want that to come out as like us trying to say you're not allowed to use humor to cope with things. I do it too. I laugh about my fucking experiences in the past, but like those are just like, examples of things he says. And I think that, the whole holding people accountable, like Jenna is being held accountable, and we're trying to hold Shane accountable for things, but he's completely silent. You know what I mean? Like all of this stuff built up, and people are bringing things back from his past, like things that have to do with like really intense topics and you know, blackface and all of the shows that he did in the past, and he just disappears.
Yeah, and it goes to say how a lot of people have to say, "Oh, that's not the Shane I know." You
Yeah.
know, it goes to say when someone says, you know, I've changed. Well, it doesn't matter that you've changed. It's like the people who you surround yourself with. And I guess this also goes with Jenna too. Why a lot of people were angry or upset with her was that they both didn't seem like they didn't pay their dues. You know, they both made money off of their problematic past. And yes, I'm gonna use problematic, not in like, oh, we should cancel both of them, but like this is kind of racist and sexist and all of the
just
above.
like things, yeah.
And like, I guess, you know, Jenna for me felt very guilty because I remember her saying like, guys, don't call me unproblematic. And
Yeah.
it's like, you know, she knew she didn't have to say, oh, I'm not unproblematic and I'm empathetic and I've changed guys. She let her work talk for her. But I don't think that was enough for a lot of people who were severely hurt by.
Yeah, there are still people who, you know, and that's the thing that she like touched on in her video was like, she's like, I know that there were people leaving comments back then that were like offended and hurt by what I was doing. And like since that day, like you know, from her video, like she was saying like since then, like she still like can't live with the fact that she's hurt people like that. Whereas like when Shane makes an apology video, it's literally like a cut and paste of every apology video that you've ever seen. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm sorry, like I'm a different person, I've changed, I'm not this anymore, I'm not that anymore. And then the next day they upload a video.
Yeah, and the gag of it is him saying, like, all the other apologies were just lies, just me getting on in front of the camera. You mean all the other times that you said that the apologies before that were lies? You know, that's the gag of it.
Yeah, so I find it really interesting how everyone is reacting to both of those situations, how people are almost I don't know if like pitying is the right word, but like they're like they miss Jenna, they want Jenna to come back, they love Jenna, they, you know, but then like everyone is like, Shane is disgusting, I'm unfollowing Shane, I hate him, like, you know what I mean? And I think that does go to show like, you know, yes, the internet has changed, things are different. You know, like a bunch of content that used to be, you know, that used to be popular isn't popular anymore. Like the whole like relatable content thing, right? Yeah. It's no longer relatable when they're like people who are supposed to be those like family vloggers, like isn't like the Ace family, isn't that one of them? Like they're supposed to be like family vloggers who have like Teslas and mansions, and they do like going and visiting our old house or like our new house or whatever, where they go and they like clickbait that there was like a really big problem with their house and like it turns out like the tile was the wrong color, like that. Yeah, that's it is relatable for some people, but like not a lot. Like I don't know, maybe the people that watch them have Teslas and mansions, like sure, but relatable content not being relatable anymore, and like, you know, the stuff, yeah. Like I know you wanted to like talk about like some of the Jake Paul stuff and like,
oh yeah, like I want to touch upon like Emma Chamberlain, how she used to be like, oh, the relatable queen, yeah, and stuff like that, but girl, she's flying out to Paris just to drink coffee. It's like,
really?
That's not relatable anymore, honey. That's
yeah, and you know, like again, things change. Like she's successful. She's built a brand for herself. She's like, that's fucking awesome. Good on her. But it's the whole like relatable content that's like, what is that going to be? Like, what's that going to turn into now? It's not like I guess it's like lifestyle vlogs, right? But like, not but relatable. She still
markets herself as like relatable, okay. And that's what.
Yeah.
And that's what like throws me off, because it's like, oh yeah, I'm just relatable and I have like problems just like you, and I do. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I wish I could fly
I
to
want to fly to
Paris.
Paris to get some coffee.
Yeah.
and
And
I
then,
guess that kind of like, I think, you know, going off of that, like we all have our problems. We're all like, you know, we're all struggling on the inside. Like when Shane made that series about Jake Paul, like
oh, yeah.
it was like almost kind of the say what you will about any of Shane's series. Like people have opinions on everything, but like my opinion, my personal opinion, that's my opinion. Like was I felt like that whole series was low key people it was like low key Shane trying to be like Jake Paul isn't that bad. Like
Yeah.
he is relatable. He has problems. You know what I mean? Like okay, work. Like I'm sure he does. I'm sure he really like I'm not invalidating like he probably does have like mental health issues. Like if you're in the spotlight like that, I would be surprised if you like didn't have, you know, things that you were anxious or stressed or like even like some sort of like, you know, depression or like just being sad. Like it happens. Like people, famous people, celebrities, they are normal people. We have feelings, we have emotions, whatever. But I just
Yeah.
felt like that whole series was like, it was like kind of Monka-esque to me because I was like, I don't know, like I don't really think Jake Paul's all that great, but whatever.
And it's like, I see why a lot of people hype him up a lot
Mm,
because he doesn't market himself to be relatable. Like he markets himself like he knows who he is,
mm-hmm.
and he's like, "You're gonna get what you get, and there's nothing else about it, hun." Like I
Yeah, he's
am
like
who I
that
am.
like hype beast. Like, look at my new car, look at my new boat, look at my like he like you know he's a flexer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I think that's why he's not been canceled yet. And just like
I thought Jake
uh,
Paul was canceled for
no,
something. I don't even know.
he's still back, even though the police raided him and took out his guns. He's still
Oh my god, that
up and
happened.
driving. Huh?
That happened.
Yeah, the police raided him because he was hiding heavy artillery in his house.
Jake,
And like for what, hun?
why do you
Was
need that, baby
yeah,
boy? Oh my god, that's scary. Anyway.
like it's crazy out there, and
Yeah,
it's just humor to them. You know,
yeah,
that's their humor, which is kind of toxic. Like I remember how they used to make fun of like their fun was basically that pulling pranks. That's how it started,
yeah.
right?
That's like you know, it's just a prank, bro. Like Team
Yeah.
10, like doing all those pranks on each other, like yeah. It makes you really think like content changes, things change, internet changes, like what's it gonna be like, you know,
Hmm.
in 10 years or even because like 10 years ago, you know, 2010, that's when YouTube was like really like, you know, people were like pioneering YouTube. They were coming around and like making a living off of YouTube. So like what's it going to be like in another 10 years? Like what's the are there going to be prank videos? Are there going to be documentaries? Are there going to like I feel like YouTube, you know, it's constantly changing. There's
Hmm.
constantly people opening or opening. There's constantly people like making new trends. I almost said opening trends. Um making new trends and like just I don't know, just sometimes I just think about stuff like that. Like what's it going to be in 10 years? Is it going to be sustainable? Like are people going to be able to continue like you saw it happen with Mixer, right? Like Mixer shut
Oh
down.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, and then I don't know, like for all my Twitch people, like, is Twitch going to be around in 10 years? Like, are we, you know what I mean? I don't know.
yeah. Twitch Sings also got shut down too.
I did see that. I did, but like, it's crazy. Like, you know, where we started, we're all too sensitive, like, whatever. But yeah. So, with that being said, let's do a little let's
Do a
kind
little
of like
fun
do a little
activity.
hypothetical little fun activity because I think this is a really cool concept. That was your daily dose of tea, by the way.
Yeah.
I hope everyone likes tea again. Don't come for I don't even know. Like did we say anything problematic? I don't know. Fuck. Anyway,
Well, you know
um
what? Let's just apologize first. You
I don't
know, I'm
I don't
so
know, man. I hate talking about tea sometimes because I don't want things to be like taken the wrong way. But moral of
yeah.
the story, like I find it to be incredibly interesting how people deal with certain situations by certain creators, because there are prejudice opinions. There are prior things that people know and feel about people like who have bad track records, who whatever. So I found it so interesting, like how people were handling the Jenna versus Shane thing. I wanted to talk about it, guys. I wanted to feel something. So, yeah.
And you had good points, because I was one of those people who was like excusing Jenna Marbles and being like, you know what, Jenna, I believe you. But it's like, you brought up a good point. Like, it's both the same thing. And it's like, we got to keep people like on equal terms.
I definitely like, they were doing the same things, but I don't think that Jenna was doing it at the capacity that Shane was doing it, because like Jenna did like that like one Nicki Minaj video, the one video that she made, like the song that she made that was like kind of, it was like racist towards like Asian people, and then like whereas like Shane's whole like career was, he had like Shanae, and he had like all of his like vlog video, like there are hundreds of videos that Shane did that were like so I guess it kind of has to do with that too. Like people are kind of like looking at like the capacity of what they did, and like the quantity of videos that had that not very great content in it. Like I don't know,
but it also goes to say, like, we don't know, as like me still being a fan, because I've just started being a fan like less than 5 years ago. Like we don't know. Like Shane, nobody knew. Well, not nobody, but a majority of people didn't know the old Shane. So
that's
we don't
another
know.
thing too. Like a lot of people are like, I remember even before, like, because all of this stuff didn't, like, the sort of like quote unquote, I don't like using the word cancel. I don't like cancel culture. It's a whole nother thing. But like the whole like quote unquote like cancellation of Shane happened very recently. Like it was in like the last couple of months, right? And but even before that, there was like a lot of people who would post on like social media and stuff like, the Shane that I know versus the Shane that everyone's being introduced to now. And it was like, like all of these like comparisons of like back when he would do that kind of content that was like, offensive, like really offensive, bad, bad in the sense of like not politically correct, I guess, like that kind of content versus like his like makeup and like documentaries and stuff like that. Like I don't know. It's a wild ride. But yeah, well, let's do a little hypothetical, a little ending moment. So Aqua.
Yes.
let's imagine you have a time machine. And it's like one in a film I've seen. So you have a time machine and you are able to go back in time. And your one task, your one quest is to properly describe a meme to a caveman. Let's just say that you can like speak with them. Like it'd be a little hard if you like couldn't talk, but how would you go about that?
So I think I would talk to the caveman and be like, hey, what up?
Hey,
you're
what
out
up?
hunting right now.
Yeah.
Right? And then you look at the cheetah that you're trying to hunt.
Yeah.
And you see the animal and he runs into the tree, and that makes you like fucking gives you an emotion that makes you chuckle.
Yeah, you haha funny.
That's funny, right?
Yeah.
And now what if you want to take that moment and you're like, man, I want other people to see this moment.
Yeah.
And you go with your flint and steel, or your flint or your rock, and you etch it into a stone. And then you present that stone to the people around you in your community, in your little social circles.
Yes.
And now other people can laugh at the same thing too. That's a meme.
There you go. I that's good. I was thinking more along the lines of like something very, I don't know, confusing to them. Probably it would be like bringing my phone back in time and like stockpiling all my favorite memes on my phone and going back in time and showing them like Froggy Chair and showing them beans. Like
But what if they see the digital era and they just smash your phone? It's a
Honestly,
caveman.
I didn't think about that. I like your idea better. Okay, so okay, good. Now
Yes.
let's say we go back into that time machine and
Woo!
we go really, really far into the future when there is a new inhabitant to Earth. Our Earth is different. Earth is no longer. We're on fucking Uranus or something. And we meet a nice alien, and this alien is like, yo man,
Steve.
this the alien's name is Steve, and he's like, yo man, I've been looking in these books, and in these books they talk about memes. What in the hell is a meme? What would you say?
So, thank you for the question. I would tell the alien. So a meme is an avant-garde pictorial that we
Ooh.
share on our World Wide Web
Yes.
that brings us humor / entertainment. Then we repeat certain catchphrases and pictures in order to fit in with our social circus circles as a form of ritual sometimes.
Okay, a ritual.
Yeah, like before you would say, "Hey, damn Daniel,"
Yeah.
or like,
oh, that's a thick boy. Like thick, yeah. I like that. That also gets my brain like going of like what are textbooks and like dictionaries and stuff gonna look like, thousands of years in the future. Like I don't even know, like what is that gonna look like? Are they gonna have textbooks about like memes and stuff? I don't know.
I
like
hope
vocabulary and stuff. Like that's crazy.
I know that our vocabulary is always changing. Like Merriam-Webster gets like one new word into the dictionary, and I hope this new word is WAP.
WAP! Oh my god. Can you imagine trying to explain that to someone in the future?
I would love to, trust me.
Oh no. Anyway.
What about you? How would you describe a
Oh
meme
god,
to
I
an
don't even
alien?
know. I don't even know. Again, like I want to do like the whole like bringing my phone to like the future, and like maybe I guess it would be like outdated, right? Like if I brought my phone to the future, they'd be like, what the hell is that thing? Like, this is so
They'll look at
old.
it and be like, "That's a Nokia."
Yeah, what is that Nokia doing here? Like, no, this is iPhone 11. They're like, boy, we have like the iPhone 600. Like, I don't know, man. I think I would try to describe it to them in the sense of like folklore, right? Like it's something that like you add to your daily vocabulary that you got from the internet. If they still have internet, they probably have like the intergalactic entertainment service or something like that.
Ooh, you heard it here first, folks.
TM at Apple or the internet. If I don't even know who is in charge of that, but at the internet, if you want the trademarks that you have to pay me. But like I feel like maybe I would try to like bring my phone and be like, this is what memes used to look like. And like, I'm sure that memes are still going to be a thing in the future. Like maybe they already know what a meme is. Maybe we don't even have to explain it to them. Maybe I can just share memes with this alien Steve and he can be like, wow, dude, like this is our memes. And it's going to be like some cryptic. I think they're just going to keep getting even more cryptic. I don't know.
I want the future of memes to just be a line.
Yeah,
and be like,
just like a dot in the middle of a screen. Mood. Like anyway, today's I don't know. I am be honest with you, I was in like a really stupid mood earlier today, and talking about memes just been nice. It's been a good one. So
awesome.
Heck yeah, man. So there we have it. We have some meme talk. We have a little bit of tea rolled in there. Got a little serious for a second, and it's been an adventure. So before we get into ending this episode, Aqua, would you like to give us a super awesome secret message from our sponsors?
Thanks again to our gorgeous and wonderful and sexy sponsors at The Real Pagu, at Aqua Mocha, for providing us with so much artwork and content to juice up our lives.
Yes.
For all your video and audio editing needs, DM The Real Pagu. I don't know why I'm making this voice. She can help spice up a fancy new channel trailer for your Twitch channel.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if you're looking for any emotes, sub badges, bit badges, or channel art, DM Aqua Mocha. She
Do
will
it.
take care of all your art needs.
Yes, ma'am. All
I was
right.
feeling
Peasy.
myself.
Peasy. You had like an announcer voice going on and everything. All right, guys. Thank you so much for everyone who joined us today on this conversation. I hope that you had a nice time talking about memes. Make sure to share your favorite memes with us.
Oh,
I don't know.
hell yeah.
At us on Twitter, your favorite memes at Brain Squeeze Pod. If you haven't followed us on Twitter, make sure you go do that as well. Give us a little cheeky follow on Twitter. And also you can find us on YouTube. You just look up Brain Squeeze Podcast. Go ahead and subscribe there if you want to listen there. We have a cute little Animal Crossing format that we got going on. You can see our little cute Animal Crossing characters chilling, hanging out.
I love your
vibing.
new outfit.
Thank you. And please remember, your feelings are important and valid. If you ever need a friend, you know where to find us. We appreciate you taking the time out of your day to join this conversation. Now go take care of yourself. Goodbye.
Bye.